Hi guys, just wanted to start this no-nonsense parenting series off. I just wanted to say that nothing that I say here is meant to offend anyone. If you do feel offended, maybe it just means that there's a message in here for you to take away. I know that parenting is a very, very difficult thing. We need to band together as parents and really help each other become conscious about our choices, become conscious parents. So I want to start off today by asking you a bit of a controversial question. If your child was a drug addict, would you give them drugs? Would you knowingly say, hey kid, let's go and do a line of cocaine? Obviously not. Obviously not, right? So my question to you then is, if your child has anger issues or has a violent streak, why are you feeding them the stimulants that support or help them develop these behaviors? And I'm going to really focus around video games today. I have noticed that more and more kids are spending more and more of their time hidden behind their laptops or their computers or their iPads. And it's becoming really violent, the kind of games that they're playing at very, very young ages. Now, keep in mind that kids' brains have not fully developed. They keep developing, I think it's until about the age of 16. So, you're dealing with an organ in the body, the most powerful organ in the body, that has not been fully developed. So everything that you are exposing them to is going to be teaching them. And in fact, I want to actually read you something that is my favorite saying. It's by Benjamin Franklin. Benjamin Franklin says, "Tell me something and I will forget. Teach me something I may remember. Show me something and I will learn." And you could not have a more immersive learning environment than on these video games. Let's think about it. These children become the persona that they are playing. Now, when I grew up, we didn't have stuff like that, so maybe I'm a bit lucky. I know that we were also brought up in an environment that was very strict in terms of how much time we got to spend even watching TV. But what I was exposed to was more the things that I learned from books, and every now and then we were allowed to watch, maybe one or two programs, and it certainly was very, very limited. But I started watching this program called Thundercats, and I mean, for those of you who were, kids in the 80s like me, you'll know that it wasn't a very nefarious TV program. Yet the nightmares that I started having, totally not to do with Thundercats, but they stopped the minute my mother stopped me from watching that program. You have to remember something. A child's mind is limited by its own imagination. And these video games are virtual reality. They're showing them stuff that the child's not even imagined yet. Okay, then the child becomes the persona they're playing. They take on what is called a skin, and they are celebrated and they are encouraged by acts of violence. So, wow, you shot somebody in the head. Congratulations, here's another weapon. Or, woo, good shot. Here's another 10,000 points. What is this teaching your child? It's rewarding your child for aggressive behavior. So when your child gets, in a situation where it doesn't know how to control its emotions, because most kids don't know how to control their emotions, their brains are still developing, they are going to act in ways that they have learned in the most immersive way. And that is pointing back to things like video games. Obviously, it's not only that, but to me, this is a really, really big problem area. If you look up online, you just do a little bit of research, you'll see how much psychologists are talking about how, this anger streak and this inability to cope with emotion links back to the amount of device time that kids are having. So, I really just want to challenge parents out there. I know how difficult it is. I'm a single parent, but I only have one child. And even at those, there's times when I just think, oh, what I would do just for an hour or two to get on with my work or to do something that I really need to do. And, handing the child the iPad is one of the easiest ways they become totally encaptured with what they're doing. They don't hear anything else. They're just enraptured by this piece of equipment. It's no wonder that the man who created the iPad didn't allow his children to have devices. Steve Jobs never allowed his kids to have devices. Think about that. Why would he do that? Because he wanted them to live in reality. But, going back to the fact that I was saying, I know as a parent it's hard, and we've got so many things that we need to do. So the challenge is not to take away device time completely. If that, if you can't do that, I mean, obviously that would be ideal, go and climb a tree. But make better choices. Let's be conscious parents. Let's, have a look at what it is that we are allowing into our children's lives and do a spring clean. Make sure that we are giving them games that are going to teach them something that is a good skill, or at least take away, things that are violent, things that are, purporting all of this anger. So just have a look. I don't own a TV, so I don't know Xbox and all these PlayStations and things. I don't know what kind of games there are, but I'm pretty sure that there are some really good games there that kids can play. And hopefully they can do that more in a social environment. If you've got more than one kid, try and get them to play together. But I really just want to challenge you to have a look at what the games are that your kids are playing. Don't think for your one moment that 20 minutes on a violent game isn't going to have an effect on your child. Every little bit of this is fully immersive teaching experience that this child is receiving. So my challenge to you is get out there, make better choices. We're always telling our kids to make better choices, so let us as parents make better choices. I'm happy if you want to challenge me on this. Let's start the discussion. Let's have a debate about it. I'd love to hear about the games that you have felt have really, been bad news for you guys, or if you know of any games that we really should be steering clear of as parents. But on the same token, let's share some games that are good quality, educational, and can also capture kids' emotions and minds for a while we get things done. I hope that this message has been received to the people who need it, and I just want to thank you for your time. Bless you.